A nation once feared by the entire world stood at the peak of global power. Its military strength rivaled every superpower on Earth during the Cold War. The Soviet Union stretched across massive lands, controlling millions of lives. Behind closed government doors, every decision came from centralized authority. But beneath the image of strength, ordinary citizens faced growing hardships. Factories worked endlessly to fuel the empire's industrial machine. From childhood, people were taught loyalty to the state above everything else. The Soviet Union competed fiercely against the wealth and influence of the West. The Cold War pushed the world to the edge of fear and destruction. Inside small apartments, families quietly listened to news filled with uncertainty. Store shelves slowly emptied as shortages spread across the country. Government officials struggled to hide the growing economic crisis. Old factories and outdated systems could no longer keep pace with the modern world. Agriculture failed to meet the needs of the population. Whispers of frustration slowly turned into public anger. Newspapers began revealing signs of a system in decline. Leaders promised reforms in hopes of saving the collapsing nation. Some citizens believed change was finally coming, while others feared chaos. The economy weakened further as industries continued to collapse. For the first time, the future of the Soviet Union looked uncertain. Across different republics, movements for independence started growing stronger. Inside the government, leaders argued over how to stop the crisis. Massive protests filled the streets with voices demanding freedom and reform. Symbols of Soviet power slowly began losing their meaning. Television broadcasts spread news of unrest across the entire nation. Government officials watched helplessly as control slipped away. Many republics removed Soviet symbols and embraced their own identities. Families faced uncertainty as the country around them changed rapidly. Factories shut down, leaving thousands without jobs or stability. Public speeches promised hope, but the system was already breaking apart. The glory once celebrated by the Soviet Union was beginning to fade. Independence movements became impossible for the government to control. Military forces appeared in the streets as tensions reached dangerous levels. Workers abandoned factories that once symbolized Soviet strength. Economic collapse spread deeper into everyday life. Journalists documented history as one of the world's greatest powers weakened. One republic after another declared independence from Soviet rule. Political leaders signed documents that would permanently reshape history. The lights of Soviet industry slowly began to go dark. The collapse of the Soviet Union was no longer preventable. The massive superpower officially began breaking into separate nations. Crowds celebrated independence while uncertainty filled the future. Government offices emptied as the old system fell apart. The symbols of communism were removed from public spaces across the nation. Abandoned military bases stood as reminders of lost power. The world watched in shock as the Soviet Union dissolved. Millions struggled to understand how such a powerful empire collapsed so quickly. The Soviet flag was lowered, marking the end of an era. A painful transition toward a new economic system began. Former leaders could only watch as history changed forever. Cities once filled with Soviet pride now carried the silence of uncertainty. The global balance of power shifted dramatically after the collapse. A new generation grew up in a world completely different from the past. Nations began rebuilding from the ruins of the old system. Modern cities slowly replaced the fading legacy of Soviet rule. Historians searched through archives to understand what truly caused the collapse. World leaders entered a completely new geopolitical era. The fall of the Soviet Union reshaped the future of global politics forever. What once seemed unstoppable became a lesson repeated throughout history. The rise and fall of the Soviet Union proved that even the greatest superpowers can collapse. If you're enjoying our content and want to explore more incredible stories about the rise and fall of global superpowers, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Hit the bell icon so you never miss our next episode packed with powerful history, cinematic storytelling, and untold global events. Your support helps us create more high-quality AI-generated documentaries for you. Stay tuned, because the next Empire's story is coming soon.